So semiconductors, so materials can be classified into three categories: conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. Okay. So, but the semiconductors are never used in the study of electromagnetics. We don't because semiconductors are artificially prepared, right? Semiconductors are artificially to be prepared. So in the natural existence, we will not have mediums which are semiconductors. Okay, and the semiconductive mediums manaku undavu, right? So mediums evaithe manaku baita materials evaithe doruktayo, all these materials are either conductors or dielectrics, insulators ante natural ga doriketivi. Okay, semiconductors evaithe manaku vastayo ante like silicon or germanium, in pure state or pure form, they are also nothing but dielectrics only. Okay, so kabatti we never use semiconductors in electromagnetics. Okay, right. So materials can be of conductors and dielectrics in our electromagnetic theory. So what is a conductor? Let's first start. What is a conductor? We know, right? Conductor means a material which readily conducts electricity, correct? Okay, so here also the same thing, right? So a conductor is one which has, right, uh, free electrons, which has quite a number of free electrons, abundant number of free electrons, and can conduct or can react to the electric field. Okay, or okay, so a conducting medium is one which right, which conducts electricity or passes current through it, correct? So it will pass current through it, or it will pass whatever, it has free electrons. The simplest definition that we have to understand is a medium which has free electrons is what we call it as a conductor. Clear? So conductor one which has free electrons. Okay, and then what is a dielectric? Dielectric is a material which does not have free electrons. That means it has electrons, but it will not have free electrons, right? All the electrons will be bounded. Okay, so this is the one which has bounded particles or bounded electrons. Okay, right? Yeah, just a second. I'll have to add people. Yeah. Okay, so conductor is one which has more or abundant number of free electrons. Dielectric is a one which does not have any, right, free electrons, or there are only bounded electrons. Okay, right. So first let us take a conductor, right? A conductor, right? Now what will happen when this conductor is placed in an electric field? Okay, so that is, I have a medium, I have a conductor, right, like this. This is my conductor. It has some free electrons. Okay, it has a free electrons. Okay, now I am applying some external electric field to this conducting medium. Okay, so I'm applying certain external field to the conducting medium. So what is the impact, or what is the impact? Okay, or how does this electric field work or apply on the conductor? So let us see that. Okay, so what will happen is, whenever I apply some electric field onto the conductor, what is going to happen is, right, so this electric field, okay, let us assume that this is because of some positive charge. Let's say it's just an assumption, it doesn't mean anything. So whenever I apply an electric field to a conductor, what is going to happen is, this electric field will push the electrons in the opposite direction. Okay, right, it will push the electrons, and that means it will transfer the energy from the electric field. The external source will transfer the energy to the electrons present inside the conducting medium, right? All the electrons will gain energy, right? So when they gain energy, they will start moving, correct? Okay, and when they start moving, when they gain energy and start moving, right? Okay, these charge particles, right, the free electrons also produce some electric field inside. Okay, clear, right? And they start moving, correct? So they will produce some small electric field around them. Okay, so these electric fields, because all of them are of same charge, right, all of them are negative charge, and electrons are kuda negative charge kabatti, because all of them are of same charge, the field produced because of this electron will oppose this electron. Okay, and the field produced because of this electron will oppose the other electron. Okay, so one right, electron will oppose the other, or we can say simply one electron will repel, right? So all of them will repel each other, right? And because of this, what happens is, right, so all the electrons will be pushed away from the center. Okay, all the electrons will be pushed away from the center, and all of them, all the electrons will reside on the surface of the conductor. Okay, all the electrons will reside on the surface of the conductor, and inside the conductor there will be no charge particle. So inside the conductor, right, the charge is zero. Okay, so this is a very important point we have to remember. Okay, so I'm repeating it again. Firstly, what is a conductor? Conductor is a material which has, right, abundant amount of free charge particles. Okay, there are so many free electrons are present, okay, in a conductor, correct? Okay, so when this conductor is subjected to electric field, right, when I put it in a electric field, what is going to happen? The electric field will create or will give some force to the electrons. Okay, so it will transfer some energy, or it will exert some force on the charge particle. Because of this force, because of this whatever the force you are applying, the charge particles that are present inside the conductor, they will right, get repelled, or they will start moving. Okay, right, they will move in such a way that, okay, their motion will be opposite to one another. Okay, so one will be repelling other, because all of them are of same polarity. So all of them try to repel each other. Okay, so because of that, what happens is, all the electrons that are present inside the conductor, they will move to the outer surface. Okay, they will move to the outer surface, and all of them, right, start residing. They cannot go out because the conductor is surrounded by, let us say, insulator. Okay, the conductor boundary is this. So outside they cannot go. So what they do is, because of the repulsion forces from inside the medium, they go on to the outer surface and they reside on the surface of the conductor. Okay, so always, right, for a conductor, yeah, 1 second, yeah. Okay, always for a conductor, right, what is happening is, the charge density inside is zero. The charge density, yeah, somebody is trying to speak. Please mute. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So the conductor, right, so the charge density inside the conductor is zero, and all the charge will reside on the outer surface of the conductor. Okay, so therefore the two important points that we have to remember is, whenever a conductor is placed inside the electric field, what is going to happen, right? Firstly, right, the charge inside the conductor will be zero. So the charge inside the conductor, and the conductor does not absorb any charge. Okay, so it cannot pass the charge. That's what we have to remember. Okay, it doesn't pass the charge, or it doesn't pass the electric field, right? Electric field cannot pass through, right, the conductor. This is a very important point we have to remember. Okay, so the charge inside the conductor is zero. That means, right, there is no charge that can exist inside the conductor. Okay, so there is no question of passing the charge or passing the field from one end to the other end in the conductor. So the electric field passed through the conductor is zero. It will not pass the electric field. Okay, right? Okay, that's a point. But the point that we have to remember is, so all the charge, where does all the charge go, right? All the charge will remain on the, right, all the charge will reside onto the surface of the conductor, right? So therefore, any conductor will act as a, right, a generation of a charge, right? So any conductor, all the conductors will act as surface charges. Okay, so any conductor, when you put it in an electric field, it will also act as a surface charge, and it will produce a charge, okay, or field. Okay, so, right, it will produce field. Okay, don't get confused, right? So a conductor, or whenever you place it in a electric field, it will not pass the electric field. Okay, it will not pass the electric field, but it will produce a new field. Okay, why? Because all the charge is getting resided on the surface, and it is itself acting as a surface charge. Okay, the conductor itself is acting as a surface charge. Therefore, right, there is a field produced because of this conducting conductor. Okay, because of this charge. Clear with this, right? So, okay, this is the behavior of a conductor when you put it in a, right, when you put it in an electric field, right? So we know what is a conductor. Conductor means a body, a particle which has free electrons, right? Now, what is the behavior of the conductor when you place it in electric field? When you put it in an electric field, right? When you put it in an electric field, okay, so all the charge present inside, all the free electrons present in the conductor will experience a force, and because of this force they start moving, and because of their motion is such that they will repel each other. Okay, the electrons will repel each other, and what happens is all the electrons will move towards the outer surface, will move towards the boundary of the conductor. Okay, this is the point, right? They will move to the boundary of the conductor, and therefore the charge present inside the conductor is zero. The charge present inside the conductor is zero. Okay, and the charge and entire charge will be present on the, or will reside on the surface of the conductor. Okay, so therefore a conductor will always act as a, right, producer of the charge or producer of the field, but it will never pass the field through it. Okay, so a conducting medium will not allow electric field to pass through it. Remember, this is a point one. Point two is it will act as a surface charge and it can produce electric field, right? When you put it in electric field, it also generates its own electric field. That's what we have to remember. Okay, I hope this point is clear, right? Any doubts in this? Quickly. Okay, did you understood, right, what is the action of a conductor, right, inside the electric field? Okay, so the properties are these two we have to remember. Okay, one, it will not conduct the field. Okay, it will not pass the field, it will not conduct the field. Okay, second is it will act, right? Yeah, so assuming no doubts, let us go to quickly the next concept, which is about dielectrics. I think you know what is a dielectric medium, dielectric or an insulator, right? What is a dielectric or insulator, right? A material, okay, a material which does not, right, which has, simply we can say, which does not have any free charge carriers. Okay, sorry, just a second. Yeah, which does not have any free charge carriers inside it. Okay, so such type of material is called as dielectric, correct? So a dielectric does not have any free charge carriers. Instead, right, for example, if I consider this as my dielectric, so a dielectric has bounded charges. Okay, for example, let us say bounded charges means the particles, all the electrons will be, right, in contact with the, or in associated with the atom of the nucleus of the atom. Okay, so if I consider, let us say this is one atom, right, in the inside of the dielectric, so all the charges, right, all the electrons will be attached to the nucleus. This is the nucleus, right? So nucleus of the atom, and there are no charges, free charges, there are no free charge carriers, correct? So therefore what we say is dielectric medium does not pass electricity or current through it. Okay, so current cannot pass through dielectric field. Okay, fine, we are not talking, we are not so, right, don't get confused with current and electric field. Okay, so it does not pass current through it. Okay, now what is the action of this, right, of this dielectric material when you place it in an electric field, right? So when I place it in an electric field, right, when I place it in an electric field, what is going to happen? Okay, right, see here. So when I apply an electric field to a dielectric medium, okay, so when I apply this electric field to a dielectric media, there are no free charge carriers here. All the charge carriers are bounded, correct? So, but the thing is, this electric field, right? For example, if it is of plus Q, if it is of plus Q, then it will act, right? It will, let's say, if it attracts the electrons, then will repel the nucleus, correct? Nucleus means protons, right? All protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus. Let's say protons are there. Okay, so protons are of positive charge electrons are of negative charge, correct? So whenever I apply electric field to this whenever I applied electric field to this dielectric material, what is going to happen is this electric field will force electrons in one way and the nucleus in another way. So what happens is when I apply a dielectric electric field to the dielectric material, there will be a concept called as polarization, right? So what happens is polarization takes place. Polarization means all the electrons, let's say they are all getting attracted because of that. Earlier they were in a particular orbit, right? All of them were revolving around the nucleus like this. Now what happens is all the electrons will be taken away from one side, okay, right, and they will form a cluster, okay, whereas all the protons or nucleus, that will be on other side, okay. In each atom, right, in each atom, what is going to happen is all the electrons, earlier they were like this, right? The center nucleus was at the center and the electrons were revolving around this, okay. This is the normal case, normal dielectric, okay. Now what is happening is, right, when I apply electric field to the dielectric, all the electrons that are there, right, if this electric force is more than the force of this, the bounding force, then the electrons will break the bonding, right, will break the bounding, and all the electrons will be pushed towards one side and the nucleus gets towards another side, okay. Clear? Understood, ma? Are you getting my point? Right? So all the electrons will get towards one side and all the nucleus, the center of the nucleus or the center of the atom, will be pushed to other side. So this will act as a negative pole and this will act as a positive pole, right, in each atom. Atom is a very small element. So I have and equal, right, what is happening, the number of electrons and the number of protons will be same, okay. So therefore this is nothing but, this is, let's say assume minus q, this will be plus q, okay. So each atom, right, each atom now becomes a dipole, okay. Earlier the atom was free of charge carriers. Now what is happening is, now there is a creation of dipole inside the dielectric, okay. So this concept is called as polarization. So whenever you put a dielectric medium, inside the electric field, right, it gets polarized, okay. What is polarization? Polarization means creating of, that is separating of charges, positive and negative charges. So separation of positive charge and negative charge in an atom, okay, right. So we will get polarized atoms, right, okay. We will get each atom getting converted into a dipole, and because of this, right, that dipole, right, all the dipoles, everything, the dielectric material, right, will now be split into dipoles. So therefore each dipole, whatever the electric field that you give, this dipole will pass this, right, to the next one. It will generate and it will pass, it will generate and it will pass. So a dielectric medium will pass the electric field through it, okay. The dielectric medium will pass the field through it, but it will not generate, it cannot generate the electric field, right, it cannot generate the electric field, okay. And one more point that we have to observe or we have to notice, right, so the there will be no charges, there will be no free charges, right. So there are no charges present on the surface of the dielectric. So rho s, that is the surface charge density of the dielectric, is 0, okay. So there is no charges on the dielectric medium, but inside the dielectric there will be creation of dipoles. So therefore this dielectric medium will pass the electric field that you apply, okay, but it will not produce the or it cannot generate field, okay. Clear, ma? So I will repeat it again. Yeah, just a quick thing. So dielectric medium, dielectric or insulating medium. So this medium is one which does not have free charge carriers, okay. There are no free charges, correct, okay. So all the charges that are there, they are bounded to the nucleus, right, okay. All the electrons will be bounded to the nucleus. Now if I put this dielectric inside an electric field, okay, what is going to happen? So electric field will apply opposite forces on the nucleus and on the electrons. Okay. So if one is attractive force, other will be repulsive force. Correct? No doubt in that. Okay. So because of this, what happens is all the electrons will be pushed to one side and the nucleus will be pushed to the other side. Okay. So on one side you will get electrons, on one side you will get nucleus. Okay. So the atom gets imbalanced. Okay. So this kind of action is called as polarization, right? This is called as polarization. So whenever you put a dielectric inside the electric field, you get polarization. Okay. So because of this polarization, there will be formation of dipole. Okay. Dipole inside the dielectric, right? So because of this dipoles, dielectric will conduct electric field through it. Okay. It will not conduct current. Current it will not pass, but it will pass field through it. Okay. This we have to remember clearly. Okay. And on the surface of the dielectric, there are no free charges. So there is no accumulation of charge. So on the surface of the dielectric, there is no question of generating the dielectric. Instead, only it will store the charge inside the dielectric in the form of dipoles. By nucleus, we mean positive charge. Yes, yes, nucleus means positive charges. Okay, protons. Nucleus means protons, correct? So neutrons and protons are combinedly called as nucleus. But neutrons, we don't have a charge for that. So protons, it means positive charge. Okay, correct with this? Understood, ma? So the three important properties of dielectrics are, right? What we have to remember is, first thing, there will be no charge present on the surface of the dielectric. Okay, on the surface there will be no charge. So therefore it cannot generate electric field, right? It does not generate electric field. Okay, point one. Point two is, it will create, there will be concept of polarization. There will be polarization in the dielectric. So therefore, whenever you have, whenever you put a dielectric in the electric field, you get dipoles inside the dielectric. And these dipoles will store the energy, right? Will store the energy and will pass the electric field, right? Will store the energy and will pass, and they will conduct to the electric field. Okay. So, right, the point that the second point is, there will be polarization in dielectrics, and because of the dipoles are created. Okay. Third, because of the dipoles, the electric field will pass through the dielectric medium, and we can also store energy in the dielectric medium. Okay. So this is how dielectric continue, right? So the simple thing is, a conductor will, right? A conductor, when you place it in an electric field, it is opposite to what we have learned till now, right? So we say that conductor will pass current and dielectric will, right, stop current. Okay, correct. That is correct. Okay, but here it is opposite. What is this? A conductor will block electric field, will not pass electric field. We are talking about field here, right? So conductor will not pass the field, dielectrics will pass the field. Okay, this thing you remember. Okay, we are not talking about currents, we are not talking about charge particles, right? So when we say charge, current means charges. So charges can pass through the conductor, right? But field, that is force lines or field lines, cannot pass through the conductor. Okay. Similarly, for a dielectric, charges cannot pass through the dielectric medium, but whereas field lines or force lines will pass through the dielectric medium. That's why, for example, all our air is a dielectric, right? So all the electromagnetic signals, they are getting passed through the air medium, right? Okay. So we have to remember that dielectric is, air is a dielectric, right? That's why it is possible to transfer, okay, electromagnetic waves. But can you pass voltage through air? It is not possible, right? Voltage or current cannot pass through air, right? So charges cannot travel through air, whereas field lines or flux lines or force lines can travel through air. That is the difference we have to understand. Okay. Yeah, dielectric and insulator both are same. Dielectric and insulator are same. There is no difference, right? Insulator or dielectric. Generally, what we say is, a dielectric material is one which is used. It's an insulating material that is used to store electromagnetic energy, right? So both are same, right? Dielectric or insulator is same. There is no difference. Okay. Any other question? I think this is clear, right? One thing that we have to clearly understand is we are not talking about the flow of charges or the flow of current. We are talking about the flow of force lines. Current, I will tell you what is that in the next session. Okay. సో చార్జెస్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడట్లేదు, ఫోర్స్ లైన్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. ఫోర్స్ లైన్స్ ఆర్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది కండక్టర్ లో పాస్ కాదు, డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ లో పాస్ అవుతుంది. కండక్టర్ ఫీల్డ్ ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది, డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ని స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది. ఇట్ కెనాట్ ప్రొడ్యూస్. ఓకే, ఇది మన
all the charge particles will tend to move in a random way or in a way that they will oppose each other, correct? So whenever there is a charge particle moving, right, then the rate of this charge particle, because of the motion of the charge particle, will get some current, right? So this current inside the conductor is called as the drift current, because the current is produced by the drifting of electrons. Okay, so right, okay, whenever I place a conductor inside the electric field, there will be drifting of electrons. That means the electrons will try to, right, move in all directions. Okay, will run in all directions, right? So this random motion of electrons is called as drifting, and this drifting will give us some current which is called as drift current. Okay, so a conductor, we have a current called as drift current. Remember this. Okay, right? Okay, drift current, right? Drift current. Okay. Similarly, when I take a dielectric material, right, as I told you, okay, so in a dielectric material, okay, whenever I apply electric field to this dielectric material, there will be separation of charges, correct? So all the negative charge, all the electrons will get onto one side, and all the right proton will move to the other side. So this creation of dipole, or this, right, formation of the charges is called as the displacement, right? It's called as the displacement, and because of this motion, because of this thing, we'll get some small current which is called as displacement current, or right, convection current. Okay, right? So convection current. Okay, so there is a, right, in the conductors, right, there are free electrons, and whenever I apply electric field, these free electrons will move, right? As they move, and they will move for some temporary amount of time. Okay, so in that temporary amount of time, because of the temporary amount of time, or because of that motion, a small current will be produced inside the conductors. Okay, so such current is called as drift current. Okay, such current is called as drift current, right? And whereas in a dielectric, okay, right, whenever I apply electric field, right, whenever I apply a dielectric field, so because the electric field, the electric field will create the separation of charges. Okay, that is, the charges are getting displaced for a small duration of time. Okay, again for a small time. So this separation, or this movement of charges, will give us some current, and that current is called as displacement current or convection current. You have to remember these two definitions, right? So in conductors, we'll get some current which is called as drift current, whereas the current produced in the dielectrics is called as convection current or displacement current. Okay, convection current or displacement current. Okay, you might have heard about diffusion current. Okay, diffusion current will come in semiconductors. Here there is no question, right? So in conductors, we'll get one type of current called as drift current, and in dielectrics, we get another type of current which is called as displacement current. Okay, why do I get drift current? Because of the random motion of electrons inside the conductor. Okay, right? Whereas in dielectrics, we get displacement current because of the formation, because of the separation of electrons and protons. Okay, so these two things we have to remember clearly. Okay, correct? So right, okay, so either it is right, either it is a conductor or a dielectric, there will be some small amount of current produced, right? Okay, so inside a conductor, I'll call this current as drift current, right? And inside the dielectric, we call this current as, right, displacement current. Okay, I displacement. Okay, so the value of I is generally represented by I is equal to dq by dt, that is the rate of change, or delta q by delta t, as the rate of change of the charge particles per unit time. Okay, the rate of change of charge is nothing but I, current, right? So the charges, okay, as the charge particles are moving, so number of charge particles moving per unit time will give us I. Okay, so we can observe that this I is a scalar quantity, correct? Okay, it is a scalar quantity. So we can also convert this current into vector, right? We can have a vector form of current, and that is given by current density. Okay, J. I think you know what is current density. So J, right? J or J bar. Okay, so this is a vector form of the current. J or J bar is a vector form of the current. So it is given by, right, vector form of the current density. Yeah, sorry, some people are waiting. I'll just add them. Okay, right. So vector form of the current is called as current density, and this current density is defined as J bar is equal to the amount of current flowing per surface, per unit surface area, the amount of current flowing per unit surface area. But because this is a vector, we should give its direction, right? The direction will be in the normal direction to the surface area. Okay, right? So I'll repeat it again, right? Inside the conductor, because of the random motion of current, I'll get random motion of electrons, we get some form of current. That current is called as drift current. Okay, and inside the dielectric, right, we because of the creation of poles, okay, because of the creation of poles, dipole, we get some current. That current is called as displacement current. Okay, so either drift current or displacement current, it is given by current is equal to rate of flow of charges. So the charges flowing for unit time. Okay, so I is equal to dq by dt or delta q by delta. Okay, so this is the general formula for I. Okay, but because I is a scalar, we want it a vector form. We also want the direction. Okay, because it will be useful in later, right? So therefore, the vector form of I, current, can be given by a term called as current density. What is this current density? The amount of current flowing per unit surface area in the normal direction. Okay, so if this is my let's say current flow, right, then right, okay, then if I take a normal surface, right, the normal surface, then how much amount of current is flowing through this normal surface, okay, in the direction, in the normal direction, okay, normal surface per unit area. So current per area in the normal direction is what we call it as current density, right? So J bar, okay, and if this is the thing, then we can also write I as I is equal to integral J dot ds. Okay, so the current, if I know the current density, then I can obtain the total current using this formula. What is the formula? I is equal to integral, right, J bar dot ds. So this is a surface integral, right? We have to remember it is calculated per unit surface. So this is a surface integral, correct? Okay, so I have defined four terms: drift current, displacement current, then the expression for current, current density. Clear with this, all these things? Okay, any doubts in this one till now? Any doubts in this current density? Okay, so right, if I place, whether I place a conductor or a dielectric, there will be some small amount of current produced through it. Okay, in conductors we get drift current, in dielectrics we get displacement current. Correct? Clear with this? Yeah. Then the next point is how to measure the current. Current is nothing but rate of flow of charges. So I is equal to dq by dt. Okay, so using that expression we can calculate the current. But this current is a scalar. We want vector quantities. So therefore we are defining a new parameter called as current density. What is that? Current density is given by current per unit surface area in the normal direction. Okay, so therefore J is equal to I by S, in the direction of a n bar. That is normal direction. Okay, right. Similarly, if I know j, how can I calculate I bar? I, that is I is equal to integral j bar dot ds bar. So j is a vector, ds bar is a vector, dot product will give a scalar. I is a scalar. Clear with this? Understood, ma? This point? Okay. Then let us go to the next, the last topic for today, the last thing, right? So this is a very, very important question for the exam, right? For the exam for 2 marks, especially for 2 marks. Every time this question is asked, right? What is that as continuity equation? Okay, continuity equation. Okay, continuity equation. So with this topic, I will start today's session. This small part we will be left out with capacitors. So we will see that later. So continuity equation. Okay, what is a continuity equation? It's a simple one. We already know it. Okay, we just put it in formal terms. Okay, so let us see what it is. So for example, if I have, let us say, a particular area or a particular region, right? Area or a region is there. Okay, right? Correct. So let us say that some amount of current is flowing. There is some charge inside this. There is some charge Q inside this, and because of this charge, current I is produced, and that current is going, right, let's say, out of the medium. Okay, the current is flowing in this direction, in this region. Okay, now as per the law of conservation of charges, so what does the law of conservation of charge tells us? Right, charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, or simple, right? Is it right? It cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. It will be just transferred from one place to other place, and the amount that is going out must be equal to the amount that is getting reduced in the thing. Okay, so if I is flowing away from this, right, this I will cause, right, this I will cause a decrease in the charge. Okay, so the I will be nothing but rate of this thing, right? So if I current is flowing away, then there will be a decrement. That's why minus. Okay, symbol I have put, right? The current that is flowing away from this particle is given by dq by dt. Correct? So this is the current that is flowing, okay, out of the direction, right? But now we discussed that I is equal to, by using the current density, we can write this as closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar. Okay, so right, there are two expressions for current I am writing. One expression is I is equal to minus dq by dt, because current can be considered as the rate of charge, the rate of flow of charge. Correct? So dq by dt, and the other expression that I am writing is I is equal to integral j dot ds. Okay, right? So as both the terms are same, as both the terms are I only, I'll equate this. That is integral j bar dot ds bar, ds bar is equal to minus dq by dt. Correct? Minus dq by dt. So integral j bar dot ds bar is equal to minus dq by dt. Why I'm writing minus sign is, one expression I am taking is the amount that is going out. One I am taking is the rate of decrease. Okay, so I'll tell that later again. Minus why you have taken minus. If you have not understood, I'll explain it later. Okay, so as of now, integral j dot ds is equal to minus dq by dt. So this is the integral form of the continuity equation. This is called as the integral form of the continuity equation. But let us derive another expression from this. So we have studied a theorem that closed integral of the surface, closed surface integral of anything, let's say a dot ds, closed surface integral a dot ds is equal to open volume integral of del dot a ds dv. Sorry, right? Closed surface integral will be equal to open volume integral of this. Correct? Okay, so this we have studied from vector. Okay, so I am using the same expression, right, for this. So integral, closed integral j dot ds can be written as in open volume integral del dot j dv. Okay, right? Okay. So let us use this here. So what I get is, right, what I get is, so open, this closed integral can be written as open volume integral del dot j dv is equal to minus dq by dt. Correct? Okay. Now this is equal to, this implies the next thing is q. What is q? Q is nothing but charge. Okay. So considering this as a volume charge, let us say if q is a volume charge, then we can write for a volume charge q value can be written as integral rho v dv. Okay. So right, writing that here. So v del dot j dv is equal to, right, minus d by dt of, right, integral rho v dv. Okay. So this is differentiation of dt and this is integral of dv. We cannot cancel them, right? Correct? So this is it. This is the thing, right? Now integral del dot j dv is equal to, integral del dot j dv is equal to, changing the integral and differential, right? So the roles of integral and differentiation are changed. So let us put integral first, then this will become partial derivative, right? Dou by dou t of rho v dv, right? Okay. So I can write like this. Okay. So clear, understood, right? Okay. So what I am doing, integral j dot ds, surface, closed surface integral, by using the theorem we can write it as open, right, the integral, open volume integral of del dot j dv. This is a theorem from vector calculus. Correct? Anybody is waiting? Yeah. Okay. So open volume integral del dot j dv, right? And this term we are writing as it is. Now q can be taken as a volume integral. So if I take q as a volume integral, q is equal to rho v dv. So if I write like this, right, I'll get this thing. Right here, what I am doing is I'm changing the the differential and integral. So what I get is this integral minus dou by dou t of rho v dv. So from this, right, the final expression that I get is, because on both sides dv and dv integrals or volume integrals, so we can equate these terms. So what I get is del dot j is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t, right? So this equation is called as the continuity equation. This equation is called as continuity equation. Okay. So why you call it as continuity equation means it is linking charge to current density. Okay, current density, and further we will see its link to electric field. Okay, so this equation will link us, right, from charge to current density to, right, electric field. That's why it's called continuity equation. Okay, so all the terms are linked through this equation. Okay, so therefore it is a very important for 2 marks question, right? So what does a continuity equation does is, a continuity equation will link the quantities, okay, of charge, current density and electric field, right? Electric field and current density are linked, right, to charge. Okay, electric field and current density are linked to charges. Okay, so using this equation, right, this is called as continuity equation. So simple, right? Okay, I'll just briefly repeat it and stop the thing. I'll take your doubts. So simple thing is, if I have a charge particle, because of this charge there will be current. Okay, so the current expression can be written in 2 forms. One in terms of charge, where I is equal to minus dq by dt, and one in terms of current density, I is equal to integral j dot ds. So because on both sides it is current expression, we can equate them. So what we get is integral j dot ds is equal to minus dq by dt. So which is called as the integral form of the continuity equation. This links current density with charge. Okay, I can also modify this expression, right? Okay, how? By using the identity in vector, the theorem in vector, closed surface integral can be converted into open volume integral, right? So divergence theorem. So using that, what we can write is like this, right? And q can be taken as a volume integral. So volume integral q is equal to rho v dv. I equate both the terms. On both sides I have volume integrals. So I'll equate the corresponding terms. So del dot j is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. So this is the expression which we call it as the continuity equation. Okay, so this is just